It's another great day in a great Tampa neighborhood. First of all, let me start out by recognizing a couple of the city council members that are here. My longtime friend, the chairman of the city council, Charlie Miranda. Councilmember Mike Suarez, who's citywide. And Councilmember Frank Reddick, whose district this is. And to all of the members of Sulphur Springs neighborhood that are here today who have waited decades for a day like this to come. To the Tampa police officers that have reduced crime, violent crime, over 20% in these Sulphur Springs. 20% reduction. To the men and women of neighborhood services and the clean city, the folks right here in the long sleeve blue shirts and the blue outfits who have removed, and I want everyone to understand this, who have removed over 120 tons of debris from these neighborhoods. That's debris that would have been dumped in the alleys or dumped out on the streets or dumped on these vacant lots. That is debris that is no longer a neighborhood blight. It is making a difference every day, and those men and women get up every day and work really, really hard in some tough conditions to clean up neighborhoods just like this, and I am so appreciative to them because ultimately, and they know this, a neighborhood feels about itself the way it looks. This neighborhood is looking a whole lot better. I want to thank our friends at TICO. As many of you know, we launched a number of months ago, Operation Bright Lights, Safe Streets. Just in this neighborhood alone, we have increased the number of street lights by 400 plus new street lights, new wattage. We trimmed the trees. It is a brighter place. It is a safer place. The children in this community now are able to walk to these neighborhoods and do so with a much greater degree of safety in a much cleaner neighborhood. But all of that being said, what really matters in neighborhoods like this is planting the seeds not only of hope, but more importantly, planting the roots of home ownership. When people buy a house, they're invested. When people own property, this becomes a place that they're going to take care of. When you change the dynamic here, and when you change the discussion here, and you knock down dilapidated houses, and we've knocked down over 70 houses that were a cancer in Sulphur Springs, that were abandoned, that were filled with drug dealers, prostitutes, gang members, and now this is what's coming. This is what this neighborhood should look like. This, and if you ask any of the folks that have lived here for a long time, folks that grew up in Sulphur Springs, people like the Robinsons, they will remember when Sulphur Springs was a great place to live. They will remember when the club down at Nebraska and the river was the social hotspot. They remember when people moved here for these great canopies and these great streets. They remember when folks took pride in owning a house. They remember a time before duplexes and time before the codes changed that allowed this neighborhood to start to deteriorate a number of years ago. They remember a time when Sulphur Springs had pride. Well, I'm here to tell you that that pride is back. I'm here to tell you that every time we open the doors on one of these houses, every time one of these houses sells, every time we knock down one of those dilapidated old houses and remove that blight from the neighborhood, the prognosis for this neighborhood gets better and better and better, and we are committed to being here for the long run. We are not going to do this and walk away. We are going to join with our partners who have come here, not just government partners, but private sector partners, not-for-profit partners, people like the Children's Board, people like United Way, people like Layla's House, people like the YMCA, people like the school system, people like the Boys and Girls Club, who are absolutely focused on changing the discussion in Sulphur Springs, but more importantly, changing lives in Sulphur Springs. We are all in this together. We are all on the same page. We're not siloed. We're not balkanized. We are in this together, and we are going to be here together till we fix this problem. End of discussion. So 120 days ago, I stood on a lot just like this, and we turned a shovel of dirt. And we said, out of this, like the biblical story of Nehemiah, Out of this would rise a new house. And out of that new house would provide new opportunities. And out of those new opportunities would potentially change lives and eventually change a neighborhood. This is the beginning, folks. This is not the end. We have 12 underway. We have 70 lots that are available. We couldn't do this without our private sector building partners, some of whom are here behind me, or the realtors that will sell this house. This is a partnership, and this is just the beginning. So, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to go into that house and take a look, because I know there will be a homeowner who will take pride in this property, who will maintain this property, who will take ownership of this neighborhood, who will join the Robinsons in the Sulphur Springs Neighborhood Association, who will help walk these streets and protect these streets and reach out and help someone else along the way. So I couldn't be prouder. I couldn't be prouder of our staff, Vanessa and Tom, and all the folks that helped make this happen. I couldn't be prouder of the community for recognizing that this was a neighborhood that needed help and stepped up and got it done. But most importantly, I couldn't be prouder for the homeowner that will have a key to this house someday and a key to a new beginning and a new life. Thank you all for being here. Let me hang the sign. Let's get this started.